Hello, everybody! Today we're going to see how I draw Doctor Strange Supreme from Marvel's What If series. Just so you know, there's a coloring book that you can get through Amazon. Just follow the link in my description and you can get a coloring book to show me how you color to how I draw. Okay, pencils first and then Sharpies. So if you don't want to watch the pencil portion of the video where I sketch the entire thing out for myself, look in the description and there's a link that you can click on that will take you to the Sharpie portion of the video. I'll even include one for color. But for those of you that are going to stick around, I'm going to start off with a quick sketch for myself and get us going. Did you guys watch it? Obviously, well, I don't know, obviously if you did. I'm hoping you did, because A, I don't want to spoil anything, and B, it's amazing. Oh my gosh, I love this show so much. Okay, I talk about this all the time in Star Wars, that you guys grew up on certain stuff, and that's what your passions are, and I get it, and I love it, and that's fantastic. That's why I love your requests, because it's normally stuff I wouldn't be drawing, right? I wouldn't be drawing all the Clone Wars and all that, but that's what you guys really love. Well, this is mine. This is right up my alley. This was I grew up reading these comics, and not this particular story is what I'm saying, but this level of crazy that it's... Oof, I don't want to say too much, because also, I mean, what's going on? What is going on leading up to you know what, right? It's crazy. It's amazing. I think it's fantastic. So long story short, I love it. I just love it. That's all I can say. Like I said, without ruining anything, without spoiling anything, I'm just going to say I love it. That's all I'm going to say. So, that being said, let's see what we can do here. The big problem is no good picture exists of his costume. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's pictures all peppered out throughout the entire show. But there's no scene of just him standing here like this, so I can see all the specific detail. So I'm kind of guessing at a lot of this. I took some nice screenshots, hoping I can try to figure it out. But looking back through them, who knows how much I can really get. So, it's alright. It's not that big a deal. The main thing is the craziness of it, the Supreme. Oh, I wanted to make that joke too. You've been to Taco Bell, and their Taco Supreme has sour cream. So I want to make the joke of what makes them supreme. Well, sour cream. But I was trying not to, because so many people do, and it's like I gotta do something a little bit different, right? But I wanted to so bad. I wanted to say, yeah, it's supreme with sour cream. So I guess I'm doing it now, but I'm not setting up, I'm not ready like waiting for you to laugh. But I wanted to so bad, but it's just the craziness of his costume that I'm also going to be doing some Jack Kirby speckles. Like they did a great job of really creating the Kirby-esque look, which I think they did in the actual show too. The movie. They did a great job of giving it the feel of the Kirby universe, and that's where I feel like, yeah, you guys should really be honoring the artist that created this, right? Stan Lee, give him his credit where he is, but I'll just say this, just like Ralph McQuarrie, some people are nothing without their designers. And you can praise George Lucas all you want. I'm not saying he didn't start something fantastic, but Ralph McQuarrie, Jack Kirby, Mobius, some of these old artists were the ones who really really made it what it is, you know? And that's kind of what I say every now and then when I kind of tell you is like, you know, celebrate what you love, but we are the magic makers. We are the ones who decide what it should look like and why it's so magical, you know? So that's why whenever I do some crazy drawings and whatnot, I'm like, yeah, you know what? You can't tell me I'm wrong, because, you know, I'm the one who's got the pen. I'm the one with the microphone that you have to listen to. But, you know, it all comes back to what we learned. Like, you know, with great responsibility, well, great power comes great responsibility. Ugh, I almost messed up the entire thing. So it's up to us to decide what happens and what people are going to see and enjoy and appreciate. But you also have to, you know, take into consideration, but what do you like? You know, it's like, yeah, I'm here to create and make amazing things, but tell me what you like. What do you want to see, you know? So as much as it is us, the artists of the world, creating and designing and making things, we also need to take into account, you know, I don't want to say the world, because that sounds very egotistical, like we're taking care of the world. In so many words, we are. The world in general, you know, it's like, well, what do you need? How can I help you? It's like, I'm a chef, I'm a cook, you know. What do you need me to feed you? That kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm trying to say. You know, please take into account others' feelings, others' needs, others' emotions, in giving them the nourishment their little brains need. Because, you know what? They can't. And I hate to say it like that. I hate to say it in a, well, they can't pull it off kind of way, but in so many words, they can't. That's why, you know, they look to the artist to create and voice for them, you know? Wow, this really turned into a crazy, not crazy rant, but a strange rant about providing for the world. Sorry, I'm trying to find some good pictures. Here's the problem. I'm incorporating a little bit of the craziness that it went into, and a lot of the pictures I took are of the craziness. So you've seen the show, like where it goes, like what happened to him, you know? So I'm trying not to do just that. You know, I'm trying to give it a little bit of normalcy, right? So to speak. There I go again. I always say that. But that's kind of all the pictures I took. So let me see what I can do here for a face. And I'll be honest with you, I thought about doing that. I thought about going crazy and really making him I'm trying to think of how to say this without spoiling. Let's just say this. He loses his way. When you lose your way, you become something else, right? Some might call that a monster. Some might call it you're fighting your demons, right? So, the monster he becomes is what I was thinking about drawing. But it's like, nah, I want to keep it a little bit more normal. A little bit more normal. We'll just say that, a little bit more normal. So I'm trying to not draw the crazy stuff, but I'm peeking it in, like in his hand, the tentacle thing is going to be coming out. That I'm not gonna hide. There's no way I can hide that. Alright, I think I am ready. That sketch looks pretty good. This one might be a longer video just because there's a lot of detail in here I want to get. I want to have some fun with it. So let me erase some of these sketch lines. What I like to do is throw a bunch of lines down trying to figure out the position, the placement, and the proportions of the idea I have in my head. And I want to see it on paper, so I just start throwing lines down trying to figure all those three out. As it starts to come together, as I get more confident with each one of those, I'll start to press harder. So when I lightly erase like this, I'm erasing the sketch lines because those are so light. And what's left are the confidence lines because I'm not quite putting enough pressure to erase those. So we're going to follow our confidence, get rid of our sketchiness, and that's how you live your life. You'll do amazing things. I'll be there to celebrate your victories. I believe you can do it. All right, I say we welcome all the skippers and get going. Welcome, skippers. Welcome to the Sharpie portion of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe because I do a different drawing every day. You can join along and have some fun. I'm going to be using a Sharpie fine point and a Sharpie pen. Mostly the fine point, but a pen's a little finer than a fine point and can find things that a fine point can't quite find. I've sketched the entire thing out, I've erased the majority of the sketch lines, but left myself enough to see where we're going to go. And if you want to see more Marvel, check out that playlist right there, or just check out the playlist in general because I do so many different drawings. I may have already drawn what you're looking for. So I've already gave you a nice pep talk, a good description in the point before. Go check that out. I'm just going to jump right in with his eyes. I'm going to do the top of his lids, like this. And I like to do those first just to see if I've got them where I want them to go. But they're also so small because of the size of the drawing I'm doing that I can only do just parts, right? So for his pupils, if I can fit it in, like it might bleed too much, I'm just going to kind of dab the center. But see, that already looks so dark. I'm just going to kind of come in like that for the bottom of the eye, because if I draw it through, it's just going to be a big black blob. You're not going to see a thing. So I'm just going to do that and then give him like the old, I was going to say creeper eye, but not really creepy, but the old mystical. That's what I'm looking for. The old crazy mystical eye. Right? He's got that strange, that strange look to him. Sorry, that was a pun that I did not try to make, but it just came out. Okay, for his nose, I'm going to kind of do something like this. I want to draw more lines. Like, let's see if we can do like that, just to kind of define some of his nose. That's it. That's all I'm going to do. I think that's too much. I shouldn't have done that. So I'm going to draw his mouth and then his little beardy beard. So let's see, right about here. And I did a little bit lower because I'm trying to leave room for his beard. Let's see. And I'm trying to give it that evil look too. Let's see if I can make it thick. Or not thick, but yeah, because see, once I get inside there, the top lip gets lost. That's okay. But it's going to start to really bleed into itself. Again, like I was talking about, that's why I got to be careful with the lines I put down. For his bottom lip, I'm just going to do that and then come in with his little goatee, his little evil goatee. Right? I know he's got one before. It's not always evil, but come on. We know what we're talking about with this one. You've seen the show now, right? I hope so. I've been trying not to give spoilers about it through the entire talk. Okay, here's his jaw coming up his big, strong cheekbones. And I can work into his ears. Now, I want to try to make sure that I leave his side of his hair open because it's white, you know? And I want to leave room to color that white. So there's his sideburns into his ears. Right? So now I can draw his ear. Because he's looking at you, we just get kind of a flat ear, you know, not a lot of detail. Now I'm going to start to thicken up my outer edge, only because when I switch over to that Sharpie, you're going to see a huge difference in line width. So I'm trying to match where it's going to go. All right, so for his hair, it's kind of parted on the side, kind of, but I was gonna say evilly, but that's not really a word. Hanging down in an evil fashion, right? It's evilish. That's the evil look they gave him. And I want to draw like the horns, all kinds of crazy stuff on him, but I'm trying not to. I'm trying to keep it grounded. But man, do I want to draw so much stuff. Alright. I like that. The other thing I was talking about in the sketch is that, man, there's not a lot of good pictures to go by yet, because it just happened. It just aired. I'm excited. I came back here and I started looking for pictures so I can draw, and nothing's really popped up yet. And I tried to take some screen grabs, but screen grabs I grabbed weren't all quite human, if you know what I mean. I'm trying not to talk about it and ruin it for anybody. Okay, I think I'm done with his head. Again, let me thicken up this area, the edge. I'm gonna switch over to the other Sharpie for the rest of it, or most of it. Okay, so let's draw that cool new cape that he's got. I'm gonna kind of come out like this. Something like that, so that means I could put his neck, something like that, and then draw the rest of the wings, so to speak. So to speak. There I go again, saying that again. It's my word of the week, word of the year. All right, awesome. How's yours coming out? Cool. So that means his shoulders are going to be coming down here, like this, to the edge of a cape. Something like that. Let's go ahead and draw that edge to define where it's going to be. Over his shoulder, you know, draped over like that. And this one I'm going to have raised up a little bit more. Like that. What's funny is, the show is, they're kind of making it like movie based, right? Like they're following the actors, Benedict Cumberbatch and all that stuff, you know, and so they're following that style, and that's cool. That's awesome. But this, I guess maybe it's just me. My drawing is coming out way more comic book than the cartoon. It's crazy, right? Animated show. It's not a cartoon. The animated show. All right. So his hands are out in power and evil. So I want to draw his chest, and if I can, again, there's not a lot of good pictures. His chest and his shirt design. It's got kind of that bat look in it. But first, I want to draw the eye of Agamotto. What was it? Yeah, I want to draw that. Dormammu is the one I got memorized, but not Agamotto or whatever it's called, right? Oops, probably a little too much there. I'll just add that to design. There, something like that. Okay. All right. So let's draw his shirt, which is like layered wraps, right? So we're going to say like his arm is going to be here, into his chest, into his belt. Do the same thing over here. Again, just to kind of get a feel for the sizing and everything. And again, a couple of wraps of shirt. And that's why I wanted to go ahead and draw. Normally it's one piece of material and I keep it flowing, right? But this is all wrapped up. What do you call it? Like layers wrapped up over each other, right? Now there's a cool bat design in there. I'm going to try and draw it, but again, I don't have a lot of good pictures. Give me 1 second to try to find a good picture of it, even though I don't really have a good one. So to kind of... Okay, I think I see. I think it's kind of like, almost something like, and I'm just going to draw over his costume. I think it's something like this, right? But I can't tell if there's like a head. I think there is. There's almost like... You see how I'm just drawing it over his layers anyway? It's kind of the feel for it, kind of the shape, that it's kind of into the material. At least from what I can see, you know. Like I said, it's hard to get a good picture of it. Okay, I'm good with that. Let me close off a little few things here. All right, so his hands. Again, material into cuffs, wrist cuffs, wrist binders. So wrinkled up some material here. Elbow into where where it wrangles into the cuff. Draw the cuff, which is basically like a gauntlet, you know, a forearm piece. Really, is that a gauntlet? No. What's the word I'm thinking of? It's not a gauntlet. It's a... I don't know. I'm asking you like you're in my brain. Like, what am I trying to say? I don't know. You tell me. I'm having a conversation with myself. I'm going to stop. Okay. Now, I was talking about this in the sketch. They do an awesome job of incorporating the Kirby style. So let me see if I can figure out what they did here too. And maybe I can draw something like it. Like the old black dots, Kirby dots. I know I had a good, there we go. Okay, so I'm gonna draw his hand and then I'm gonna do it. So his hand is gonna be almost like this, okay? So I'm gonna draw the back of his hand into the pinky first, into the palm of his hand. Let me draw the thumb so you see where we are. You see how I have it kind of like this. So they're wrapped up, so they're going to be going up like that in so many words. In so many words. Here I go again. I think it's because I only have so many words. I'm not a good speaker, and there's only so many words in my artist vocabulary. There we go, something like that. Now, I'm going to do it with a small Sharpie now that I think about it. It's dots connected. That's the best way I can describe it. Jack Kirby had this awesome style that he came up with. That it was a lot about inking. You know, it's about the way he put blacks on there, and the way you shape your darks, all the darks in there. And so it's going to be like this, right? Some circles, but then we're going to connect some. So I'm going to do one, then another one connected, right? Like they're so close, they're connected to each other. That's kind of the idea. So I'm going to kind of go around and just kind of come up with a whole bunch of those. Like, what would it look like if they were all little dots connected? That's kind of the idea. Now, again, Jack Kirby was much better and didn't try to crank this out in 10 minutes. Which is like I'm trying to do. So it's nowhere near as cool and awesome as Jack Kirby's, but that's kind of the idea. That's what we're going for here, is just that that Kirby-esque Kirby dots, right? It's not it, nowhere near it, but again, yeah, that's the fun we're gonna have with power, you know? All right, next arm over, the same thing, just material, wrinkled up. There's the crook of the arm, into the elbow, bend up the material into the, what do we call it, the forearm cuff? We never came up with a word. I just stopped talking because I'm not a speaker. Something like that. I kind of feel it needs something too. It's just such a negative space. I'll do something with color. It just feels like it needs a little bit more. There we go, just wrinkling up the material a little bit. And now the hand. Now this hand, we're gonna get a little crazy. You know where it went in the show, so I'm just gonna kind of do the same thing with that craziness. Watch. So I'm gonna draw the thumb out like this. Bring it into the finger. Gonna do this for the finger. I know, weird, just bear with me. Do this one for this finger. And then that for this finger. Bear with me. Just watch. I know that's weird, but just that's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. Exactly. I know you have no idea what I'm doing yet, but watch this. Well, I mean, I guess you do. You probably saw the drawing. You saw where it was going with this, or where it ended up. Right? What else? Like this. Let's do another one. Ooh, some Kirby lines. We'll do that. A little bit of Kirby lines is what we're gonna do. That's how we're gonna wrinkle it in. Craziness, right? Super craziness. Sorry if I got quiet there, but sometimes I gotta concentrate on where I'm going with this. Kirby lines. That's what we're going. There we go. Awesome. Okay. Now it's material. So I don't really have a good shot of his belt. Kind of. Like there's fire shooting out. Nope, never mind. Oh, that's what I should have done. Some fire shooting out. No time. Okay, so we're just gonna draw some layered pieces here. following my sketch, so that's how I can kind of just throw a few lines down and know where I was going. Because I did kind of have an idea. Oh, you know what? I want to draw that little long flap coming out. Let's draw it like this. And then we'll build on that. So we're going to have it going through here. Let's see. How about we do the dramatic turn into itself. So that means it's coming out. You can see that much of it. Get turned up there. Turning. Coming back like that again. Back end, right? Something like that. You know, super dramatic folds. Alright, I like it. Okay, and so the rest is just, well, can't forget the cape, but the rest is just, you know what, I'm going to do this before I forget, because I'm going to forget that cape. I know I am. So I'm just going to do this so I don't forget, and that'll tell me that it goes this way. That'll tell me to do that in the end, okay? All right, so now it's just layered material, so I'm going to draw one like this, another one down this way. This one's going to go wrap around, but we're kind of obstructed by this, and that's okay. So there's only so much we're going to see. We'll make it shorter like that. And then this end is that wrapped around, but again, we can't see it, so not worried about it. And legs is just material, so I'm following the sketch of his anatomy, but drawing wrinkles in the material that would be his legs. Okay. So that's the nice thing about sketching it out, is once you know your anatomy, you can kind of just say, well, if that's where the legs are going to be, I need to wrinkle the material around that. And you can kind of make your life a lot easier by planning out, you know, where it would go. And where it would wrinkle, so to speak. There I go again. I'm going to catch myself every single time. I don't know why. It's not that big a deal. But I'm hearing myself is basically what it is. Now before I forget, I'm going to draw this going around. So this I can connect. Bring it there. Because I always forget that kind of stuff. Always. Before I do the legs too, let me do a little bit more of material here. Just to kind of celebrate and appreciate the amounts of wraps and things that he's got of the material. All right. Ooh, let's do more here too. Like, right, because this is all wrapped around. We're gonna say that's coming through like this. There we go. Confusing, but we got it. Okay, so boots, again, super dark. I can't see what's going on, so I think they're just regular old superhero boots. Nothing too crazy. But he's also floating, so I just need to make sure they are floating. This was pointed more at you. Okay, almost done. Not too long there. I was afraid it was going to go super long, 40 minutes. I think we're okay. All right, so that's it. Bye. Just kidding, so I'm going to draw his cape. in that pointy bat-like fashion. So I've already drawn the line. I know the swoop, so I'm just gonna kind of follow that now. Point, point. See, the point's gonna come down here like that. Point there, but you can't see it. Point, point. Ooh, let's go up and point one last time. Kind of like in that fashion. Like that. There we go. I say we take care of the rest with color. So that is Doctor Strange Supreme.
So here's how I colored it. Tell me what you think in the comments below, or show me what you did in our Discord group. Just have fun and make it your own, because remember, this is how I draw. You draw how you draw, and we'll meet somewhere in between. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more adventures with How I Draw. Plus, don't forget to hit that notification button for new videos.